Hello Deus Ex lovers and welcome to this new video. If I am in the kitchen with all these ingredients, you know what's about to come. Well, I mean, you can even literally read it on the title. But anyway, I've been to Paris, we did the Coco Ban, it didn't go as planned, I think it was too much wine. But today we're going to try the Chinese Silver Loaves. I hope that's the pronunciation. Anyway, since the phone is recording, I had to write the ingredients here because, well, I don't have another phone. Anyway, we have 3/4 of cup of hot water. We have 3 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of oil shortening. I don't know what shortening is, so I went with, of course, oil. 6 cups of plain flour, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, which is here, and well, half a tablespoon of salt, which I put it in the shots. I mean, we're not gonna do salt shots because I still wanna be alive. Anyway, those are the ingredients. The recipe seems quite easy, so let's start. So, the first step is to add the sugar and the oil into the hot water and to mix it until everything is dissolved. Now, the recipe says that we have to let it cool. So while it cools, I was thinking to just mix the dry ingredient, as the recipe says actually. Once they are nice and combined, I will start to pour slowly but surely the sugary water, and we need to start to create, well, I guess the silver loaves. I've waited 5 minutes, so I'll start to mix these 3 ingredients and then we'll go with the sugar mixture. So I guess the best way to start is with flour. Then we add the baking powder and a shot of salt. Okay, now that we have the 3 ingredients mixed up and we have actually this one starting to cool off, I can start to pour it, and slowly I have to start to mix up with my hands, and that's actually when my hands is gonna get dirty.
You have to get your hands dirty. Remember that a headshot is a lethal takedown.
Anyway, I'm starting to pour and mix. So now that everything is perfectly mixed, I will start to create the dough, and I'm assuming that as the recipe says, we need to have a dough that is soft but not sticky. Well, I'm not going to lie, it is soft and sticky, so I think I have to work it a little bit longer in order for this to work. Well, now it is definitely better. It is less sticky, it's more still soft, it's just, you know, less. I think the extra flour just absorbed better the water, the maybe excess of water perhaps. So well, now this is gonna go for 1 hour to cool off. Maybe it's gonna rise a little bit. And for you, in 1 hour, you have just the perfect time to speedrun Deus Ex. I'll see you later. And voila! This is pretty much looking the same as 1 hour ago, because it's been roughly 1 hour. Maybe actually increase just a little bit in volume, but now, as the instruction says, we need to have a bit of flour on the board. Maybe a little bit more. And we gotta work it. Gotta work it until we get like, oh well, I guess some sort of like bread dough, I'm assuming. Well, after working it for 6 to 8 minutes, as said, I managed to create a dough. Now, the best part is that the recipe actually finishes here. But, well, my minds are a mess. But yes, this is not edible food. So I'm assuming, since the ingredients are pretty similar to the one that you use for bread, I think I'm just gonna pop into the oven for half an hour and we'll just see what's happening pretty much. Half an hour in the oven at 200 degrees and that's the result, people. That is the result. So let me just give you a close-up. So it just spurs up, you can literally bread, but if you see here, it's just hard, but it didn't cook, so this part is not cooked. But the interesting part is, the taste is interesting. It's bread, but because of the sugar, it kind of tastes like, you know when you have those sponge cakes? So it's like a neighborhood between, I don't know. All I'm saying is that, for sure, either the recipe or I did something wrong. But since the ingredients are those ones, actually the taste is interesting. I think it would be amazing with just a bit of jam. But overall, I think Warren Spector should just stick to do video games and not to become a chef. That's for sure. Anyway, people, hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget that there is actually the Coco Van video to see as well. I'll link it somewhere in the video. And now that I mention it, you have to go and play it again.
You missed dinner, but help yourself to a snack.